Okay boys, what's going on? I've already recorded this video, but I'm annoyed because I gotta do it again. So if I'm going fast, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, so we're doing function detouring. Alright, don't know what it is, that's fine. I'll fucking show you right now what it is, okay? Basically, we've got the program we want to hack, okay? And that program has functions, right? Okay, cool. So we want to hack a function in that program. The tutorial that we're doing today is this function here. It's a fake game that has fake health. I'll show you it right now. Yeah, there you go. It shows the health. You press F1, bang, takes away health. Crazy, right? Insane. So we want to change this to not take away health. We want it to take away nothing so that we have infinite health. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And how we're going to hack it, okay, is by finding this function in the program. Okay, so we're going to find that function, and it's going to be assembly. Okay, it's going to be da 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 da, and then we're going to find sub EAX7. Okay, if you don't know assembly, please kind of learn it a bit so that you understand instructions and stuff. You don't need to be a master of it to be able to do this technique, but you need to have a general understanding of it and what it is and stuff like that. So if you want to see a video about assembly or something by me, let me know. I can do a tutorial on it or something. Give me some suggestions. I just want to know what you guys want. I want to put out what you want, not what I think you want, if you know what I mean, okay? Because you guys deserve good content, you know. So yeah, so we're going to be hacking this function here, which is the main function. It's not going to be like it in a real game. This is just to make it much more simpler, because there's going to be static addresses and stuff like that. But yeah, so but the technique is still going to be the same. You can still apply it to a game after you've learned it from this video, okay? So once we find this assembly, the function in the program, whatever, we're going to overwrite this here. Okay, we're going to change that to a jump. And if you don't know what this is, again, please go learn something about assembly and opcodes and instructions and stuff like that, because it's really going to help you understand what's going on. Okay, so we're changing that sub, which is subtract, okay, changing that to a jump, and we're going to make it jump to our function, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually put our own code inside the program, and it's going to be in some random address near the end, and we're going to change this here. We're going to make it to a jump, and it's going to jump to our function, which is got our code or our hack, okay? And it's going to have whatever we want. So we don't want this. We don't want the sub 7, okay? We're going to change it, make it a sub 0, okay? So that it subtracts nothing from our health, okay? And then we'll have infinite health, basically. So that's all we're going to do. We're going to change this line here to a jump, make a jump to our code, and then we're going to have the subtract 0, and then after that we're going to have another jump where we're going to jump back. We're going to jump back to over here where there's other assembly afterwards to continue the program flow, so that it doesn't just crash the program, because that wouldn't be fun. So that's basically what we're doing, okay? Hopefully that was a good explanation, but let's get into the code. Like I said, I recorded this already, so I'm kind of annoyed. I might be going fast. I just want to get it done, okay? So, also, fun fact, the music you hear in the background is actually produced by me. No flex. You know, I'm a god producer, so whatever. Cool, so let's start the actual code. First thing I'm going to do is open up Cheat Engine here, and fuck, what just happened? Oh my god. Alright, so opening up Cheat Engine, and this is going to let me find the function in the program, okay? So let's run the program we want to hack, which is this, hook me. Ooh. Cool, so let's attach to it. Where is it at? No, that's not it. This one, okay, cool. And we're gonna try find the health variable, okay? So we're gonna try find the variable we wanna hack, which is the health. So it's 100 right now. Scan it, okay, cool. Not many addresses. Let's lower it, let's see here. Okay, this one changed, all right. So let's make sure this is a good one. All right, yeah, so that's it, okay? Let's double check, 5,000, bang, okay, looking good. So now what we need to do is find out, we right click this and do find out what writes to this address, okay? That's gonna attach a debugger, so we click yes, and then we change the variable over and over again, okay? So here we go. So we see this is the only code that's being executed that's writing this address. So this must be the function that we want to hack, okay? So let's see here, if we look at it, yep, it is. It's got the sub there, the sub 7, and that's where we want to hook, so we can change that. And yeah, okay, so that's what we're looking at right there. Cool. So we found where we want to hack, okay? Also, with function detouring, you want to make sure you have 5 bytes minimum. So you need to have 5 bytes where you hook to fit the jump, and then if you have leftover bytes, you need to include those later on to make sure you handle those correctly, okay? So just remember, we need 5 bytes. I'm gonna show you why when we're coding it, but we're gonna need 5 bytes. So let's look here. This is where I want to hook. I don't want to hook anywhere else. I want to hook here in this sub, but I don't have 5 bytes, so I've only got 3 bytes here. How do I know? A byte is 2 of these characters, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3 bytes. So I need to have 2 more bytes, so I continue to the next instruction, which is here. This is the move, and this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why was that so hard for me? All right, so it's got 5 bytes. This has 3. This has 5 as well. I could hook here and make it clean, nice jump there. But just for the sake of this video, I want to hook right here to make it easier. Because all I want to do is just change this line here, okay? I'm going to no up this line. We don't care about that line, okay? So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're just going to not care about those, okay? We're going to just no up the rest of the bytes. If you don't know what no up is, look at assembly, please. Okay. So let me explain this assembly a little bit. What's going on? Basically, to modify a variable or data, you need to put it in a register. Oh, this is an assembly, by the way. You need to put it in a register, then you can modify it, modify the register, and then you can put it back into the original memory address, okay? So this is the memory address where the HP is stored, so it's a static address. So if you just find the base of the exe, this is the offset for it. So if you just get the base of the exe, then you go plus 1C000. That's going to give you the health every time you run the exe, all that, okay? So that's the health variable. Then we put it into EAX register, and then we subtract 7 from the register, and then we put it back into the memory address, okay? So, enough talking, let's start fucking coding. So, first thing we're going to have to do is make the hook function. So let's get into that. We're going to have to include one thing in this, which is windows.h. That's it. That's all you got to include for this, okay? So it's going to return a bool, hook. It's going to, first parameter is a void pointer, and that's going to be the address we want to hook, okay? Next is a void pointer. It's going to be our function. And the last one is an integer, and that's going to be the length, how many bytes the hook needs to be, okay? So remember what I said before, how we need 5 bytes to fit the jump, okay? So we're going to check here real quick. We're going to do if the length is greater than 5, should do an equal sign here. If it's greater than or equal to 5, okay? Then we continue with the hook. Otherwise, we don't want to continue with it because we can't fit the hook. So we're going to return false, okay? That's it. Now, this is the actual hook. We're going to need a protection variable here, and then we're going to do a virtual protect, hook address, length, and page execute read write. Cool. And then we're going to store the protection in there. Why isn't it coming up? Cool. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're changing the protection on the this memory address here to read write so that we can modify the assembly there. Cool. So next what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the relative address, which is where we want to jump to. So we're calculating where our function is right now in memory. Well, not right now, but when this is executed, it's going to be, yeah, cool. Fuck, I'm trying to go as fast as I can. I just want to get this over and done with. Hook address, and then we're going to do -5 there. Okay, cool. What is this doing? Well, it's finding where our function is, and then the memory address of our function, and it's getting the address of where we're hooking, and it's getting the difference there to find out how much we need to jump, and then it's subtracting 5 bytes because the jump itself is going to be 5 bytes long. Okay, cool. Next, we need to actually change the assembly. This is going to be the jump here. So it's going to be a byte pointer, dereferenced, and it's going to be hook address. And we're just going to make that 09, E9, sorry, what the fuck. Yeah, okay, so this is E9 is the opcode, or yeah, opcode for jump. Okay, so that means jump, which is assembly. And then we're gonna do dword. I think it needs to be a pointer, and it's gonna be dword again. Hook address. Then we're gonna need to do +1 because we want to go to the next byte, and we're gonna make that the relative address, which is how far we need to jump to hit our function. Okay, so what this is doing here is it's making the jump to our function. Okay, this is the detour, that's why it's called function detouring. Okay, and then we need to restore the protection. So I'm making a temporary variable there just because we need a variable to pass to the function, but we don't need to use the variable. Virtual protect, then it's going to be hook address. I can just copy this actually, and instead of this, that's going to be temp, and this is going to be protection. Cool. Okay, and then we're going to return true because it worked. Cool. So that's the hook function right there. So we make sure there's at least 5 bytes or more. Then we change the access to the hook address to read write so we can modify it. We find out where we need to jump to reach our function. Then we write the jump, and then we restore the privileges and then return true because it worked. Otherwise, if there isn't 5 bytes, then we just return false straight away because it's not going to work. Okay. Okay, next we're going to make our function, which we're going to jump to. Okay, so it's going to be decal spec naked. Okay, what does that mean? That means it's not going to have prologue or epilogue code assembly, which means it's just going to be the assembly that we put in here. Okay, because if there was other code, it could mess up with the detouring shit. So the assembly that we put in here is going to be replacing the code here. Okay, so like I said before, I want to change this sub, so I'm going to copy that and paste it to make sure it's the exact same, just to be safe. And I'm going to change it from sub 7 to sub 0. Okay, that's all I'm going to do there, just to make sure that we're subtracting nothing from the health, and it's going to be I'm going to have God mode. Okay, so after that, last thing you want to do is jump, and we're going to need a variable here. I'm going to make it jump back, dword, and we want to jump back to after our hook to continue program flow, which is, so our hook's going to be here. It's going to take up these 2 lines. Okay, this is going to be replaced with a jump to our function, and then we're going to do the sub 0, and then we're going to jump back to here, back to the next line to continue the program flow. Otherwise it would just crash the program if we just stopped right here. Okay, so that's the detour. Basically that's our function. Time to do the thread. So this is going to be the DLL thread. got to be a D word, win API, and it's going to be main thread LP void param. Cool. So what's going to be in this? We're going to need the hook length, which is this is going to be, you're going to change this for you as well. It's going to be different for everyone. So just change the length to whatever it is for you. This is how you find out what it is. So like I said, you needed at least 5 bytes for the jump. But for me, in this case, I'm going to need more than 5 bytes because there's 3 here. So I need to take 2 from here, but there's leftover bytes. So I need to include the leftover bytes, okay? So 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I've got 8 bytes in total. So I'm going to put 8 in there, okay? If you have a different one, let's say you have one like this, which is 5 bytes, you put 5 there. If you put how many you need, okay? So I'm taking up 8 bytes for my jump, which is going to be these 2 lines. So that's why I'm putting 8 there, okay? Make sure you know that, because that's a easy way to stuff up this technique. So next we're going to store the hook address, which is where we want to hook, which is for me it's going to be here because I want to change this sub. So you hook whatever you want to change. You can hook before it and then whatever, make sure it's near where you want to change. Okay, like I could hook here and then change this, but I'd have to include this and that would get too complex for this tutorial because it's whatever. Okay, so I want to hook here. I'm going to take this address here. This is the memory address of it. So I'm copying that. If you don't know what I'm talking about memory addresses, etc., watch my previous video, which explains everything. That's why it goes for so long, goes for half an hour. It's a really good video actually, but yeah. So that explains memory addresses, and it even shows you a quick tutorial at the end of external game hacking and shit. So that's the address we want to hook. Next, what do we want to do next? Let's see. All right, so now we're going to do the jump back, which is going to be the hook address plus hook length. Okay, so this is setting it to after our hook. Okay, and then we're going to do the hook now. So if hook then we're going to go our function hook length. Okay, so if it hooks correctly, if it works, we're going to do a message box to make sure we know that it worked, and we're going to say successfully hooked. Okay, I'm just going to go cool. Else, if it didn't work, we're going to do a message box and we're going to make sure we say failed to hook. Okay, cool. All right, now after that we're gonna do a loop here. I'm gonna do a while true loop. This just means it's gonna run forever, and we're gonna do a get a sync state, make it end. So if you press end, we're going to end the DLL execution. So we're going to break out of the loop. I'm going to put a sleep here as well, actually, because this loop is running every iteration, you know, it's really quick. I'm going to put a sleep 40 just to save CPU, because if I did like no sleep there, it would take up like a bunch of CPU. So you could do a sleep like 100, just whatever. I'm just putting this, as long as there's a sleep there, it should be good. Then I'm going to do message box because it broke out of the loop. So we want to uninject. Go uninjecting. Okay, then we're gonna free library and exit thread. Typecast it and 0. Cool. And then return 0. Cool. So this is the uninjection part of it. This is the main thread, so we're gonna do DLL Main next, which is the first thing that's executed in the DLL, like a main function in a executable file. Okay, so module URDW reason, and then LP void. Okay, cool. Let me explain the thread a little bit, what's going on here. So we got the hook length, then we got the address we want to hook, then we locate or calculate where to jump back, then we try the hook. If it works, we show that it worked. If it fails, we show that it fails. Then we have a while loop just to keep running to if we want to uninject, then it detects that, we press end, it breaks out of the loop, and then it says we're uninjecting, then it exits the thread, frees the library, and then it just returns 0. Okay, so that's the thread. This is the DLL main. This is what's going to be executed, the first thing that's going to be executed in the DLL. So we're going to do a switch, and it's going to be the reason, and we're going to see if it attached to the process or not. So if it attached, then we're going to create the thread. Okay. Fucking hell. Cool. So we create the thread, which is the main thread, and then we're just going to break out of it. And that's it. Then we're going to have to return true at the end, actually. And that should be it. Okay. So what's this doing? If we attach, then it's creating a thread inside the process, and it's creating the main thread, which is this. I've already explained that. Yeah, cool. So let's build it. Hopefully it works. Yeah, cool. We've already got it running. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna need an injector. I'm just gonna use an extreme injector. If you guys want to see me make an injector tutorial, like how to make an injector or something, let me know. I can do that, definitely. Just let me know what you guys want to see, because I want to put out content that you guys want, because you deserve that. I don't just want to put out some random ass garbage that you guys don't care about. So what we're going to do here is we're going to inject it into the program here. Let's make sure I have the right DLL, because I don't want to fuck it up. Let's see here, YT here. Alright, pretty sure that's the right one, but just make sure. Okay, cool. So let's inject. Hopefully it works. Fingers crossed. Injected successfully hooked. Now let's see if it works. I'll press F1 and it doesn't change. So there you go, it worked. So it changed from subtracting 7 to subtracting 0 every time. So we've got infinite health. Cool. Thank you guys for the support. I want to say a big shout out to all my patrons out there. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your support. Sorry for not uploading as much. I've been really busy during Christmas week. I was busy, and then I've been busy with work because I've got a part-time job, and that shit's really taken my time. But yeah, I want to start grinding these videos out, and I only record when I'm home alone, and that doesn't happen often. So I want to try start getting a bit more confident so I can record more often. And yeah, I just want to know what content you guys want. I've been seeing that you guys want more internal content rather than external. So let me know what you guys want. I could do like injector tutorials, more hooking, do like VMT hooking or something, more advanced stuff. If you guys want that, let me know in the comments. Check out my Patreon. You get source code for my videos, you get early videos, you get direct contact with me on Discord and stuff, you get a special role on Discord. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in there. Shout out to all my patrons once again. Thank you guys for the support. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you so much. And I'll try to be a bit more active now that I'm trying to really push through with this this YouTube stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.